Well, this is my first visit here, and even in the rain, it's glorious and charming, and I was really enchanted by how small it felt, and how I just intrinsically California. It is. As a Californian, it's very comforting, and it's a little bit like coming home in that way. But to see the spaces, I mean, as you said many times, the moment we step into the gazebo, we're going to have an idea of exactly what we need to do there. And that's precisely what happened. We stepped into the space and said, oh, this is the music that has to take place here. And this is the order in which it's going to happen. And here's the way we're going to use the space. And this is the experience we want people to have around us. To be making this music, to be able to do Appalachian Spring and early works of Boulez in a place where so much of this was birthed for the first time is really special for a group of young people. Well, we look at the relationship between the performer and the audience as important as the relationship between performer and performer, as important as the relationship between performer and composer. None of these things exist in a hierarchy. They all exist in an ecosystem in the way that ICE has always thought about our work. And so for this reason, we've decided to stage concerts on kayaks in Greenland and in skating rinks in suburban shopping malls in Virginia. And in the early days, in black box theaters and on rooftops and on the back of a pickup truck in the south side of Chicago. I mean, performance space is as porous and as generous, we hope, as the definition of the ensemble itself. And so the relationship between the musician and the audience is something that's constantly evolving. We're constantly changing it up, mixing it up. And that seems to be very much a part of the ethos of this place, too. That's super exciting for us. Well, ICE is a group of 32 creative misfits, I think you could say. We're a bit like a contemporary music circus. Everybody wears many, many, many hats. And we started we were still in school at Oberlin Conservatory in the late 90s. And I had this crazy idea my junior year that I would put together this band of all my favorite people who were playing in the contemporary music ensemble at the time. And so we embarked on this project and had an amazing time. We did pack Warner Concert Hall. It was standing room only in April of 2000. And that was kind of the beginning of ICE. We didn't call it ICE at that point. We hadn't come up with the name yet. But that momentum and that energy and that fearlessness and the essential collaboration was there. And it was about a year and a half later when I graduated and I was on a Greyhound bus ride from Oberlin to Chicago. And about halfway through the bus ride around Gary, Indiana, I was thinking about what am I going to do with my life, and should I go to grad school, and should I take orchestral auditions? And I thought, you know what? The answer's right underneath my nose. We've already done what I want to do for the rest of my life. And we've done it in a small town. So what would happen if we did it in Chicago, in New York, in LA, in the Amazons of Brazil, in ... And so I got off the bus and basically decided, okay, I'm going to start a nonprofit organization. We're going to call it ICE. And the 15 members of that original project at Oberlin became the founding members of the group. So that was then, a decade and a half ago. And we've grown from a little $500 startup to a $1.5 million organization this year. And we do about 115 concerts around the world